If you happen to hear any dog toys incessantly squeaking in the background, feel free to ignore it. Hello, hello, I hope you're all enjoying October so far. So today on Reader's Nook, I'm going to do something I haven't done in a good long while, and that is just review one book. I'm usually making all these lists or just talking about books in general, but for today's Reader's Nook, I'm just going to focus on The Glass Sentence by S.E. Grove. This is a book I'd been meaning to read for so long, but then kept putting it off because it's big and it's middle grade and I just wasn't sure if I'd like it, and spoiler alert, I liked it. Okay, so I was going to start off by reading you the back of the book, but the tissue paper book jacket is being slippery and difficult, so we're going to start by undressing the book. This is what it looks like with the jacket on, and then you slip that off, and you have that, which I think is really pretty. I also like that this is like a see-through tissue paper. The whole thing is just very, very pretty. Now, back of the book, technically the inside jacket. It is 1891. Almost a century ago, the Great Disruption threw all of the continents into different time periods, from prehistory to the far future. It remade the world. Okay, that alone is enough to make you want to read this book, and that's what made me want to read this book, so I'll kind of leave it there. That is the general concept of the book, and that's really all I knew about it going into it, but it ended up being just a really great adventure story. The Glass Sentence follows Sophia, who is living with her uncle Shadrach, who is a map maker, and you can imagine because of the world building with everything being in different time periods, map making gets a little bit more interesting. So early on in the book, Shadrach is kidnapped, but I won't go too far into detail as to why, because it really is interesting following Sophia's story along as she tries to work out the details for herself, and basically she meets a lot of really fun people, and interesting characters, and good bad guys, and it's just, I haven't read a book like this in such a long time, and I really, really enjoyed this whole story. The story didn't rely as heavily as I thought it would on all of the world building with the different time periods and all of that, but you end up feeling like it barely scratched the surface, and there are 2 more books in this series, so hopefully we will get to see a little more of what this world has to offer later on. There were more fantasy elements than I was expecting, just based on the concept of splitting up our actual world into different shards of its own history, but they were still unlike anything else I'd ever read before, and it was really, really, really interesting, cool, great, fantastic. I don't know, I enjoyed it. Now, I don't usually read a lot of middle grade, so if you do enjoy those books, I suspect you'll like this even better than I did, but I did find it was more of a fun for all ages kind of story than something specifically targeted towards children. There was a section in like the 3rd quarter of the book that I found read a little bit long, and I just wanted to get back to the plot, but overall this was really well written, and I just wanted to keep turning pages and find out what happened next. That's it for me today, but I will be back on Sunday with the rest of the WordNerds, where we will be talking about getting ready for NaNoWriMo during our live chat. Happy reading, happy writing, and I'll see you next time.